Sideshow Bob is my favorite recurring guest character on The Simpsons. He is charming, he is terrifying, and every one of his episodes is one of the very best. Let's dive in. Nowadays, we're all familiar with the diabolical genius of Sideshow Bob, but let's go back to his origins. He was the silent and often humiliated sidekick of Krusty the Clown, a lowbrow children's slapstick comedy program. When Krusty is arrested for armed robbery and Krusty gets busted, Bob takes over the show, and imagine the surprise when he finally speaks, and it's the ultra-refined and super sophisticated voice of Kelsey Grammer.
My young friends, for years I have been silent, save for the crude glissandos of this primitive wind instrument. But now destiny has thrust me into the center ring.
That's such a clever gag and a funny reveal that I think is often overlooked. In the end, Bart deduces that Bob framed Krusty, and so begins his various stints in and out of prison throughout the series.
Take him away, boys.
Yeah! Treat kids as equals! They're people too! They're smarter than you think! They were smart enough to get me!
In Cape Fear, Bob makes parole, and this time is seeking revenge on Bart for foiling his plot to frame Krusty and previously trying to kill Aunt Selma. Now he's really starting to get his hands dirty, and I'm not just talking about sending death threats in his own blood. The Simpsons go into witness protection, but Bob tags along. In the night, he sneakily boards their new houseboat, tying them up and coming after Bart with a machete. But he's thwarted by his own hubris and apprehended once again.
Take him away, boys.
Hey, I'm the chief here. Take him away, toys.
What'd you say, Chief?
The following year, we get Sideshow Bob Roberts, where Mayor Quimby is politically pressured to release Bob from prison, only to face him as a mayoral opponent. And despite Bart and Lisa's efforts to prevent it, he wins in a landslide. Once in office, he uses his power to demote Bart to kindergarten, and tries to destroy the Simpsons' home. Eventually, they manage to discover Bob cheated, and trick him into making a public confession, admitting to election fraud, and it's back off to prison.
Only I could have executed such a masterpiece of electoral fraud. And I have the records to prove it. Here, just look at these. Each one a work of Machiavellian art.
He would return in later seasons to threaten Springfield with a nuclear bomb unless they agree to stop broadcasting television. And that scheme, like the bomb itself, would turn out to be a dud. So he tries to kill Krusty, and fails. Finally, in Season 8's Brother from Another Series, Bob takes advantage of the prison's work release program and begins supervising the Springfield Dam with his brother Cecil, who has sabotaged it with the intent to frame Bob. Here, Bob saves the town, and Bart as well. Sideshow Bob is a pretty great story if you watch all of these episodes in a row. The writers did a phenomenal job slowly peeling back the layers of Bob's psyche, revealing who he is and what he wants. Eventually, you realize he truly believes that he's the good guy and wants nothing but the best for Springfield citizens.
In the coming weeks, you will notice some rather sweeping changes in our program, but we will also learn about nutrition, self-esteem, etiquette, and all the lively art.
Wouldn't our lives be so much richer if television were done away with?
We could revive the lost arts of conversation.
Because you need me, Springfield. That's why I did this. To protect you from yourselves.
Oh, Sideshow Bob. So genuinely scary with that tall, lanky body and wild mop of red hair. His ability to seemingly shapeshift and impersonate others, and using those showbiz skills to charm the innocent and put his enemies at ease before striking. The wonderful singing voice, the brilliant but deranged mind. Bob is someone who could recite Dostoevsky by heart while stabbing you in yours. And yes, I know there's more Bob episodes after that, but you know me, I'm a seasons 1 through 8 kind of guy. And those first 6 episodes of Sideshow Bob really demonstrate a complete and clear arc for the character. He does genuinely redeem himself and saves Bart's life, and that of the entire town. Of course, he's sent to jail anyway, due to police incompetence. But as far as I'm concerned, Bob and Cecil are still in that cell, bickering over who gets top bunk. Bob often appears a bit paler than most characters throughout the series, but I wanted to stay consistent, so I just used solid yellow for his skin tone. Pastel yellow wouldn't look bad though. This portrait had Bob in some hard lighting, so I used butterscotch instead of cheddar as shading to really darken Bob's features. Chilling. And his evil laughter after winning the election is such a great moment. And you know I love those exaggerated expressions. Finally, a nice brown circle surrounded by a ring of light brown and cheddar makes for some nice bruising here. There's so many great expressions and moments from Sideshow Bob. Like that weird face he makes after being caught the first time? Or the HMS Pinafore outfit? Maybe next time. For now, it was my hope to capture the 4 sides of Bob's personality. The humiliated sidekick, the maniacal genius, the murderous psychopath, although he's never actually killed anyone, and of course, rake in the face. Because just like my favorite Looney Tune, Wile E. Coyote, the self-proclaimed super genius who can't help but always be thwarted by those he considers less intelligent, Bob never succeeds, and his schemes always come undone. Well, kids, that's our show for today. And now, the words of Mr. Cole Porter. Every time we say goodbye, I cry a little. Every time we say goodbye, I wonder why a little. Every time we say goodbye, goodbye.